Mythology is filled with strange and terrifying creatures. Dragons that burned cities, sea monsters that swallowed ships, creatures so powerful, so unreal, that humanity believed they could only exist in legends. But what if they weren't legends at all? What if these creatures were real animals, misunderstood by ancient eyes, distorted by fear, and transformed into myth over centuries? Today, we uncover the truth. This is the story of the real animals behind mythical creatures. Kraken. For centuries, Nordic sailors whispered of a colossal sea monster lurking beneath the waves, the Kraken. The legend existed for generations, but it wasn't until the 1700s that it appeared in written records. Italian priest Francesco Negri and later Dano-Norwegian missionary Hans Egede both described encounters with something massive rising from the ocean. In 1755, historian Eric Pontoppidan described the Kraken as having several bright points that grew thicker the higher they rose above the water. That description sounds less like a monster and more like tentacles. Today, scientists believe the Kraken was inspired by sightings of giant squid, deep-sea cephalopods so enormous and rarely seen that even modern science struggled to confirm their existence, sea serpents across history. Sailors reported enormous serpent-like creatures gliding through the oceans. In the 16th century, Swedish writer Olaus Magnus described terrifying sea serpents such as SOE orm, long, massive, and impossible to fight. But there may have been no monster at all. Modern researchers believe many of these sightings were actually oarfish, ribbon-shaped fish that can grow up to 26 feet long. When seen near the surface, their undulating movement could easily resemble a living sea serpent. Dragons. Few creatures dominate mythology like dragons. In 1335, residents of Klagenfurt, Austria, discovered a massive skull. Terrified, they believed it belonged to a dragon that once ravaged their town. For centuries, the skull was celebrated as proof, but in 1840, paleontologist Franz Unger revealed the truth. The skull did not belong to a dragon. It belonged to a woolly rhinoceros, an extinct animal that once roamed Europe. A real beast, mistaken for a mythical one. Unicorns. Unicorns were not always fairy tale creatures. In the 1st century BCE, Roman writer Pliny the Elder described a beast with the body of a horse, feet of an elephant. During the Middle Ages, unicorn horns became priceless relics, symbols of purity and power. But those horns were not horns at all. They were narwhal tusks, long spiraled teeth taken from Arctic seas and sold across Europe as magical artifacts. Kappa. In Japanese folklore, kappa were river-dwelling creatures, half human, half amphibian. They dragged victims into the water and terrified villagers for centuries. But the truth may be less supernatural. Japan is home to the giant salamander, a creature that can grow over 5 feet long, lives in rivers, and has an unsettling, almost human appearance. To ancient villagers, this was no animal. It was a monster. Griffins, half lion, half eagle, were said to guard gold in ancient Scythian lands, but no one ever saw one alive. What they did find were bones. According to scholar Adrian Mayer, these bones were not griffins at all. They were fossilized dinosaur remains, specifically Protoceratops, with a beaked skull and 4 powerful legs. These fossils perfectly match the myth. Yeti. Bigfoot. From the Himalayas to North America, legends speak of a towering ape-like creature lurking in the wilderness. Despite countless sightings, every DNA sample ever collected has revealed the same truth. Bear. Hair, bones, and tissue attributed to yetis and Bigfoot all belong to known bear species. Fear filled in the rest. Myths were not born from imagination alone. They were shaped by fear, wonder, and encounters with creatures humanity did not yet understand. Legends are not lies, they are memories, forgotten truths hiding beneath the surface of history.